Oh, yes, it was.
32.
Great drive.
Thank you. Check. Hit it. Oh, that's short.
Yeah, nice shot.
Thank you. That's good. Probably would have got there. 22. I needed to hit a little harder. I went 75, my man.
That was strange.
Right club? Yep. That was softer. 68 there, so that should be right. Huh.
Shot. You want a cookie, dude?
Too hard. No, I'm okay. Thank you, though.
No.
Are they okay, or what's the deal?
I think you're okay.
Just hit over them?
Just hit it. That's a nice ball. I think.
Yeah, they look past them. It's a little bit better.
Bryson, welcome back to the Middle East. 2019, you finished 6th here with 3 rounds of 68 and a 65. You're familiar with the golf course, therefore. Just describe the challenge you think it represents.
Well, I think from a driving perspective, for me, with how far I'm hitting it, it gets pretty tight. And so I got to be on my game when it comes to the driver this week. And I think the wind is going to be a big factor. I know it's going to pick up here, and I have to be able to judge iron shots correctly and judge the wind correctly with even putts. The ball is going to be moving on the green a little bit with the wind as up as it is this week. So those are the biggest factors.
2019 Dubai Desert Classic, you completely dominated, 24 under par, won by 7. Is this a region and golf courses that you particularly look forward to coming back to?
I do. I love desert golf. I think I've always played well there when it's a little drier and not as humid. For some reason, I just play well. I grew up in Fresno, where it was really, for the most part, dry and firm conditions usually, and arid, I guess you could say. It was just very, very good conditions for me to play, and I'm just comfortable with it. My body feels really good in these types of environments.
We're very excited about the field that's been assembled here this year, some really world-class players. Does that get your juices going when the likes of DJ's here and all of the best players on the European Tour and some fellow Americans have come across as well?
Yeah, I want to prove that I can beat him. That's always a factor, and anytime we have incredible competition around, we want to prove that we are, the best out of the bunch. So, it's definitely a goal of mine to win. It's why I came here, obviously, and it's even nicer when you have great competition like this.
US Open obviously is your standout achievement so far in your career. Wonderful win there on a challenging golf course. Talk about the satisfaction you get when you literally do beat the best players in the world on such a difficult course.
Well, the satisfaction is something that you can't really truly explain. You worked your whole life to do something like that, right? And for me, that's what I always dreamt of doing growing up, was having a putt for the US Open, right? And I watched Tin Cup growing up. It was one of my favorite movies, and watching him fail at the US Open, right? But make it after, what is 6 water ball, whatever, right? Was something that I always thought of, and to complete it and to finish it off and actually do it and actually win by 6, was pretty special, and something that just you really can't truly describe other than just complete satisfaction.
Is there one really cool thing though about being US Open champion? What's the best thing?
I would say one of the coolest things, for some reason, it's just a small little niche thing, but you get a sweater with the US Open trophy on it, which is kind of a cool thing that I wear quite a bit.
The RNA and the USGA have announced that they're going to change some rules, or they're speculating they may change some rules, particularly in regard to equipment. Just give us your thoughts on what they've said.
Yeah, I talked to John Bodenhammer and Jason Gore quite a bit for a long time about their decisions and what they're thinking about potentially deciding. And I ultimately agree with them that they're not changing the human element, so that's not going to change one bit. And they're just trying to kind of bring in the parameters a little bit so that nobody can just gain a massive advantage off of using a 48-inch driver without practicing, gaining that massive speed. And I think it's great. It's going to work into my benefit. I'm still using a 45.5-inch driver that is allowing me to swing upwards of 200 miles an hour ball speed, getting close to that. And it's going to make it more difficult for these players that aren't swinging as fast to get up to my ball speed. And so it's really going to be about who's going to work the hardest to get up there. I think that's great.
Do you have any concerns about what they may change next? Obviously, you use your own particular style of equipment. If they start trying to standardize things, that could be a problem.
Yeah, I don't look. No matter what, we're going to play under the rules of golf, right? I'm gonna do that, and so I'm not worried about it. It's going to affect everybody, and as long as it's affecting everybody relatively proportionately, I've got no issue with it. I'm just going to keep playing under the rules of golf like I always have.
Really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.